Hi, I'm Amanda Skelton, an independent stamping up demonstrator, and today I'd like to show you how to make this card. Well, it's not a, well, it could be a little card, it could be a little invite card, or you could use this as a topper on the front of a card, and you could stamp a little sentiment inside if you like to, or it could be a little stood up invite, or it could be a place card at a table, but it's quite a sweet little card this. So this is using the ice cream swirl die set, bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies. There's loads of ways you can use this set. I really like it. I've used it to make this little sort of stand up little invite here, but here we also have some other ones I've made. So I've also made these here. So you've got really good options with the stamps and the dies. So this, using the dies, and you can use foiled card, which is really good. You can either use the embossing die that comes with this set to make this detail for the waffle cone, or there is also a stamp for it. And again, there's also the stamps for the actual detail of the swirl as well. But there's loads of little details you can add. As I've got on here, I've got a cherry and a wafer straw, but there's a strawberry, a little donut, lots of little sentiments, and these little hundreds and thousands, which I've done on here. So what I wanted to show you today using this is heat embossing again. Haven't done heat embossing for quite a while, so I thought I'd use this. So I don't know if you can just see, hopefully the light is just catching it, but these sprinkles I've heat embossed, and also the black detail on the cherry I've heat embossed. And what I wanted to do is show you how you can pretty much get any colour heat emboss colour you want by stamping an image in that colour and then using a clear embossing powder. So this is the Stampin' Up clear embossing powder. So it means that you need to stamp it once with the coloured ink, then you add on the Versamark stamp pad, which is your glue effectively. So you stamp it again in this on top of where you've just stamped, and then you add your clear embossing powder, and then you heat emboss it. So that's what we're going to show you how to do today. I wonder if I've got my... Oh, have I got it? One of the things that you should use on this is your embossing buddy. Have I got it? I can't find it. So I'll have to go without today. But there is a like a little pillow. It's like talcum powder or something like that. It's basically just to get rid of the static when you put the embossing powder on, so that the embossing powder doesn't go to everything. But because we're using clear embossing powder, it's not going to be the end of the world. If it was a coloured one and you got it all everywhere else, in fact I can feel I've got it here, but I can't see it because it's actually clear. So that is the good thing about with that. So I haven't got my embossing buddy, but I would recommend using it. So we're going to make this little one here. I'm probably going to cut this back piece off, and I'm going to use it so I can use 2 cones. That way I can use, I can make another card like this. So it's quite good. So what do we need? We need a piece of crumb cake card, and it just needs to be big enough for the die. So these are the dies. So this is the die we're going to use. And then you have the choice of whether you want to use this for the embossing detail, which I will. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do one with that, and I'll do one with the heat emboss as well, just to show you the detail for the stamp, which is really nice. Then you've got the swirl. So this is how you make the 2 level details on this, with the background die and then the detailed die. So I'm going to be needing that one in a minute. I'm also going to need that one for the wafer, and I'm going to do a strawberry this time instead of that. You've also got this die here, which is to make hundreds and thousands. So I'm going to use the heat embossing technique today, but you could also cut them out with lots of different colours, which would be quite cute as well. You've also got like this little cup, so you could make a little ice cream in a cup, or you could add some, it could be a cup of donuts. So there's quite a lot of detail and a lot of options you've got on this one. Okay, so those are the ones I'm going to use. So let me get my embossing machine. Okay. I don't know why I always work from right to left. So I would never suggest you overlap your dies, even though that could fit just inside there. If you get it slightly wrong, you're going to break one of your dies. So I'd always suggest doing that separately. So I'm going to cut the main detail out first. So this is going to be the cone. Okay. Keep hold of your paper because you're going to want to use that for your what are you going to use it for? Your what am I thinking? The wafer straw. So I'm going to place that in there. So I'm just centering that, and I'm only going to do it on one half because the other half I'm going to show you the heat embossed option as well, which one of the ladies at my latest workshop did as a heat embossed option, and it looked really good. You wouldn't think that clear on top of something else would have that much effect. So that's one detail, which is really good. And then we're done with that for the moment until I've stamped some of the other elements and heat embossed some of the other elements. Okay, so I'm going to just cut that in half so you can see roughly where there's a score mark for where it folds. I'm going to basically cut down that line so that I get 2 cups. So that's really good to get 2 in one. Okay, so that is one ready. And what I'll do is I'll do all the heat embossing in one go in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to do a pink ice cream, a raspberry ice cream or strawberry ice cream option on this one today. Just fancy doing something different. So I've just got some pink card, and I've got the lovely swirl ice cream stamp, and I'm going to use bubble bath as the detail. So if you can see on this one, I've got very vanilla, and then I've just sort of stamped it with a sort of yellow, sort of vanilla-y. I don't know what colour it would have been actually, probably lemon lolly. I think it was lemon lolly actually, yes. So this one I'm going to do in this bubble bath pink. Okay, just so you get that bit of detail on it. And what I'm going to do then is, what shall I do then? Then I think I might do the hundreds and thousands. Let me just think about that. What colour am I going to do that in? I'm going to do the red strawberry. I'm going to do that in the red. So maybe I'll do the hundreds and thousands in red, just to pick out the strawberry, so it's all pinks and reds. Okay, so what I suggest you do, because you're going to be wanting to go over the top of it with the embossing powder in a minute, what I suggest you do is keep this the right way, same way up when you're doing your stamping. It just helps you to then, so I'm just going to hold it this way, and I'm just going to know that that's how I've held it. And I'm going to probably put it on 3 times. I'm just going to check. Yeah, quite like that. So I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one there. In fact, I think I'm just going to do two because I'm going to put the strawberry there. So let me get rid of that one. Yeah, get rid of that one a minute. Okay, so let me. Ooh, what fell over then? No idea. So let me just clean that one off because you need to make sure that's going to be nice and clean for your versamark in a minute. Okay, so we'll need that again in a minute. And what I'm also going to do is the strawberry. So the strawberry, I'm going to ink it in black, but on the red, so that you get the detail. Okay. And what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to die cut that out yet. If you're going to be heat embossing, and again, I'm going to clean that off because you're going to want to go over that in the clear versamark in a minute. So just clean that one off. What I suggest if you're doing heat embossing is not to die cut until you've done the heat embossing, especially if you're doing it on something like this, because you don't want to have to hold this and have the heat gun. You want to have like a little bit of a tab so that you can keep your fingers out of the way of the heat gun. So that would be my suggestion there. Okay, so what we're going to do next is, like I said, I would normally use the embossing buddy at this point. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use the versamark. So this is the versamark, which is like sticky glue, and I apologise, I might need to go above this a little bit. And I'm just going to over stamp where I've already stamped. And again, like I said, it won't matter if it's not quite straight on top of it, because you're not going to notice that it's in clear. And then I'm going to do the same for the strawberry. And again, I'm going to have to get on top. When you've got clear stamps, it is a lot easier to see. And I can see that because it's come out quite dark, I think I've gone pretty much straight over it, which is good. So get rid of that for the moment. Okay, so we've got sticky versamark on both of those now. So what you want is, if you remember when back at school when you used to do glitter, you need a piece of your paper to then catch all your excess. Well, in fact, I'll do it on there, and then I can use it on both. So can you see that that is actually stayed extra there? So I don't need that. This is what the embossing buddy would have helped with. But what you can do is gently get rid of it. I am going to be die cutting it anyway, so it won't be the end of the world. But you can just get rid of the excess there. And then make sure all your hundreds and thousands get some on. Okay, and then you can salvage what you don't use. Okay, so you can put that away for now. So I've got my heat embossing tool. So it's like I won't talk while that's going. It's basically like a hairdryer, but without the blow. So I won't talk while this is going, but you'll see the colour coming out once the heat embossing powder starts to melt. Go. go. Can you see that? And it just gives it a lovely shine. And just see how much that sort of brings it out, and it just gives it a lovely detail and shine. Okay, make sure you place that somewhere that it's not going to burn anything if the end of it's still warm. Okay, so those two are done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some of this excess, and I'm going to stamp the wafer, and I'm using crumb cake. So even though I'm using this on top of crumb cake paper card, it will still stand out. And I can use a piece of that there, look. So that's quite a nice detail there. Okay, so now we can do some more die cutting. Oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do this as well while I'm here. So let's use this one here. So I think I'm going to have to put that one. It won't film that one, so let me get rid of that one in a minute. So again, we're going to do the same. I already used my embossing buddy, but again, because it's clear, it's not going to be the end of the world. Versamark. Then I'm just going to centre that. So I have to go over it a bit so I can see where it is. I think roughly about, I think I'm a bit off centre there. So you can see the colour there, even without actually any powder on it. So by contrast, that's not a dissimilar colour as if we'd used the crumb cake actually. I think it comes out a lot darker. Okay. Again, capture your leftovers. Powder goes so far for this because it uses so little. As you know, if you use glitter, you really don't need very much at all. Just get rid of that. Okay, again, I'll not talk while I'm doing this. I can see that it's overrun a little. Isn't that beautiful? There you go. So that has actually come out probably a bit darker now than it had before. I'm not worried that it's a little bit splattery around there because waffle cones never come out perfect anyway, do they? So I'm not worried about that, but I just thought I'd show you that. And again, you've got that lovely sheen on it as well. So I'll use that one for a different one, but I'll use this one for now. Oh, now I've got powder everywhere. Okay, so now let's cut out some of these items. Let's just move some of those out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to cut out the strawberry first. Looks about right there. didn't move that too much. Oh, it's not too bad. And then I'm going to die cut the swirl. So I'm using the outside edge of the swirl. Like I said, there is a detailed one as well for the inside part. So I think that's about right there. And then the last thing I'm going to die cut is the straw. There is slightly the right way up rather than the wrong way up, if that makes sense. So that's about right. If you wanted to, you could have heat embossed that as well. But I haven't, just so that it's a little bit quicker, really. Right, I think that one can go now. So, what have we got? We've got our cone. We've got our strawberry ice cream with hundreds and thousands on. We've got a strawberry. So I think we're probably ready to sort of place all together. So that's sort of the bottom end, which is sort of like the unfinished bit. So I think I'll probably put it together like that. What actually I'm going to do is I'm just going to colour in the green on there. And if you heat emboss an image or an outline, it's quite a good thing to draw within because it stops you going outside the lines, and the colour doesn't bleed, so that's quite a good thing as well. I've obviously coloured on top of red, so it's quite difficult to get the colour, but that will be fine. So all that's left to do is put it together. So I'm just going to put a line of tape along the bottom. Like that. And then I'm probably going to put, that all over there. No, I think I'll balance it up and I think I'll put it at that side instead. So I'm probably going to do it like that. So let's place that bit first, and I don't mind if it's not, I'm not going to stick it all up all the way, otherwise it's going to go over the top. So I think I'm probably going to do that there, and then and then I think I'll just glue that one on there. Okay. There you go. And in fact, what I've got is I've got a white chalk marker, and I used that on this one, on the cherry. I just gave it the little white little sort of light marks, and there is this on this strawberry as well. So I'm just going to accentuate those little marks, and it just gives it a very little subtle 3D. So that's the Stampin' Up chalk marker, which is just really, really good. It's not overly lush, you know, it's not really liquidy, so you can control it quite well. So it's just quite a nice little detail that you can add. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Like I said, you can do lots of things with this. So this is ready now to be added to another card front. Like I said, there's so many different things you can do with this. With the foils, and then one of the sentiments I've used, yum yum, I've just simply used that as my background here. Don't have to have a fancy background paper like here. I've just used the sentiment, which just works really well. So that is featuring the ice cream swirl bundle. I love it. I think it's gonna be great for kids and teenage type cards, especially in the summer. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, you can find my details and my projects on Pinterest and Facebook as Amanda's Crafted Cards, and you can find all the products at the Stampin' Up website at www.amandascraftedcards.stampingup.net. Until next time, see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.